We mentioned Carson Beck, man. Transfers after flirting with the NFL, declaring for the NFL draft, ends up popping one day that he's going to go to Miami. I think the narrative around him is a little bit warped too. I feel like the time at Georgia for that second season, with what we just mentioned, the drops, not being able to run the football, it just didn't feel like a very Georgia-ish team a year ago, and they still won the SEC. Where are you with Carson Beck right now, man, heading into what will be his first year in Coral Gables?
I still think at the end of the day, if Carson was healthy, he probably would have been the number 4 quarterback taken off the board. So you're still talking about, let's go back to Cam Ward a year ago. Cam Ward was projected to be third, fourth quarterback taken in the NFL draft, or third, fourth round in the NFL draft, not third, fourth quarterback, but kind of somewhere in that mid round area. Decides to come back, goes to Miami, has the year that he has, is now the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. And I'm not saying that there's some correlation that's going to happen that Carson transferred to Miami and he turns around and is going to be the number 1 quarterback pick. But he was projected a year ago at this time to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. So there are already a lot of people very high on his skill set, his size, and what he projects to the next level. Let's talk about 6'5", 230, 235, great arm. Can throw with touch, can throw with anticipation, can push the ball vertically down the field. I think he checks off most of the boxes. I think last year, going back to what we talked about before, at times he was pressing. At times he felt like he had to be Superman. And at times that's what caused the interceptions and the mistakes. He needs to learn to continue to play within himself, play a very mature style of football. And speaking of the word mature, I think that's the biggest red flag for me right now is where is he in the maturity factor? Because you have heard in the locker room at Georgia, there was some disconnect with Carson and his teammates, that there wasn't this guy that was a true locker room guy. And that's why guys kind of rallied around Gunnar Stockton. There's a little bit more belief in him as maybe a person, as just a human being. And I'm not saying like Carson is like this, bad, evil person and stay away from him, but there are some possible character flaws that you heard from the locker room. Then you're seeing in the offseason with all the nonsense on TikTok and then the girlfriend stuff. And it's too much mess. It's too much for a guy that's going to be 23, 24 years old. I need you focusing on football. You're on a brand new team. You're coming off an elbow injury. I don't need you in the media other than, hey, man, I'm throwing 5 yards today. I'm throwing 10 yards today. I'm throwing 20 yards today. I'm progressing. I'm learning the playbook. I'm here to lead the Miami Hurricanes to an ACC championship next year. Not TikTok news, girlfriend news. It's like there's a sense of maturity, who he is as a human when it comes to the locker room that is kind of carrying over from Athens now to Coral Gables. That does have me worried a little bit. But from a pure talent standpoint, there is no doubt Carson Beck is a very gifted passer of the football. It's going to be interesting to see how healthy he looks and how fast he looks when it comes to health to start the season. And then how well he's built that chemistry with his receivers. It's a brand new receiving core. Miami lost a lot of talent. And yeah, they're still talented, but a brand new quarterback, limited reps, new receivers. It's going to take some time to gel, and we'll see how long that takes.
I think what you brought up about the psychological part for him is super interesting and kind of gets glossed over in the world of social media and have your take right now and all these things. But like, I can't imagine where he was at during this season when he's supposed to be what you mentioned. He's supposed to be the next number 1 pick in the NFL draft. There's conversation. I think he might have been like the Heisman Trophy favorite heading into the year. Like there's just the weight of the world on this kid's shoulders. And then in the most visible spot at University of Georgia, where you're supposed to win the national championship, he's not performing. Like, I have to just believe, like, that's why I loved so much the fact that he did stay in college and transferred to a place like Miami from the state of Florida. Like, just the idea to hopefully be able to reset a little bit. Now, I know there's been some stuff in the news with him, like you said, social media and the girlfriend stuff. Like, I hope that he's able to just kind of flush all that, get into fall camp, have success. Because, like you said, we know he can spin it. Like, Aaron, when that tatted arm is dealing rockets and it's back fully healthy, it's something to watch, man. There's some RPMs on the football.
The Lambos, baby.
The tats, and I mean, does he? It's funny to say he kind of fits Miami in a weird way, right? So we're rooting for Carson Beck, man. Hoping he pulls it together. Hoping he's able to spin a little bit this upcoming season.